needed that rest. What? What? Oh God. Oh God. We know what you did. Signed, anti-hackers? So Hoodlumscrafty, a Duncan, and a Verlisify walk into a bar. I hope you guys enjoyed those skits at the beginning of the video. I was just joking around, having a laugh, but there's no joke when it comes to the drama that has been centered around the Pokemon community due to a few things. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Verlisify, Hoodlumscrafty, Duncan, and several other YouTubers have been involved in drama, including myself, but my drama was years ago, where theirs is still as current as it possibly can be. Now, I'm not trying to sit here and choose a side. Rather, I wanted to address the topic at hand, which is the hacking community versus the non-hacking community. As I said before many times, I'm not a competitive Pokemon player. I don't plan to do that. I'm not into that type of thing. I don't go to tournaments, and I probably never will, because at the end of the day, it's not fun and it's not entertaining to me, and it's not challenging either. As I said before in many videos, I think Pokemon should be about chess, and it should be more strategic than what it is currently. Now, if you'd like to know more about that, I have theory videos and previous videos talking about that, but that's the long and the short of it. What ended up happening is that there are several YouTubers who are on one side of the fence and several YouTubers that are on the other side of the fence. Now, some YouTubers believe that you should be able to hack Pokemon and play with hacked Pokemon competitively, and others believe that you shouldn't be able to. What I want to discuss in detail is the merits of both. Now, I don't think there's really a right or wrong answer in this, other than the simple fact that at the end of tournaments, like we're talking, you know, the top 100 that are competing for the #1 trainer in the world, I think there should be 0 hacked Pokemon there. I think that it should be a level playing field, that either everyone should have access to hacked Pokemon or they shouldn't, period. Now, I know a lot of people sit there and say, well, don't they have checks and balances in place? Well, aren't there ways to prevent hacked Pokemon from getting there? Yes and no. Okay, I don't work for the tournament staff. I don't work for Nintendo. I don't work for Game Freak. So I really can't speak on the lengths or the measures that they go through to verify and validate if Pokemon's been hacked or not. But without question, if hackers can get into accounts with massive securities, do you really think there wouldn't be a way to make hacked Pokemon seem 100% perfect, without flaw, undetectable hacks? Right. So these things do exist. This is the digital age we live in. It's no longer 1998 with an original Game Boy cartridge that has barely any public interface to the PC market, and thus is very difficult to hack, versus what we have today, which is genning Pokemon, action replay, and transferring Pokemon from earlier gens that could have been hacked into what we have now. Now, again, I'm basically saying that I think people should be able to hack their Pokemon and play offline. If you hack and you compete on a competitive level, even if you're not in tournaments, that's somewhat grimy. And what I mean by that is, I'm not saying that you can't just hack in a Pokemon and get its stats perfect and give it the moves that it needs without having to take the time to EV train or breed it. I think that even to a certain level is okay. But what I'm saying is not okay is having a Spirit Tomb with Wonder Guard or something, you know? Something that is basically a complete cheat and cop-out. So when you have these things that occur, there's a line in the sand that a lot of people won't cross. Even most people who hack Pokemon wouldn't do something like that. But at the end of the day, most people aren't all people, right? So whether one person is going to hack and do something super grimy, that doesn't mean that there aren't going to be a ton of other people that aren't going to do the same thing, even if the majority of the community doesn't do it. So my stance on hacking personally is that we should be able to hack games offline. You shouldn't be able to take your Pokemon online. You shouldn't be able to use them online, because if you hack them in, that means you're not going through the efforts and the work to do what someone else is willing to do. Basically, it's the argument that a lot of people have when it comes to DLC and stuff like that when they unlock certain things. It's a big argument that gets discussed in regards to Battlefield 1, because Battlefield 1 sells shortcut DLC so that you don't have to put in the time, the effort, and the work to unlock the weapons. So again, the basic arguments come down to the simple fact that people don't want to put in the time and effort to do something for around 800 plus separate Pokemon. And I feel they're paying. I wouldn't want to do that either, especially being a Poketuber of any kind. It would be difficult because each individual Pokemon also can run variable sets. Like, for example, you could have a Salamence that's running certain elemental attacks, and then you would have to get another Salamence to put different attacks on it to run a different set. Or maybe you wanted a special Mega Evolution Salamence, or maybe you wanted a Pokemon that was sort of sacrificial, or a Waller, or a Staller, and there were several variants of that Pokemon. That means you would have to EV train, and you would have to breed that Pokemon multiple times to get the sets that you wanted and train them to level 100. Now, while many people out there do this, and I'm not knocking what they do, that's difficult to do for over 800 separate Pokemon. So I can see the merits of hacking. I understand that if you don't want to go through that and you just want to battle competitively online to try your skills and strategies out, I understand that. But at the same time, I understand the anti-hacking community as well, because they don't want to get to a tournament with their Pokemon that they worked for 6 months straight trying to train up, and then have some kid walk on with an action replay and Pokemon that he transferred from a previous gen or something. Now, I know that most tournaments are limited to the current game, so, you know, it's kind of difficult to hack the current game these days, but it's not impossible. Hence why I'm making this argument, hence why I'm making this video, because there's been crazy amounts of beef between the hacking community and the anti-hacking community when it involves Pokemon. And when it comes down to it, it is just a game that we all love, a game that we invest a lot of time, effort, strategy, and appreciation into. And I would absolutely hate to see a lot of fans of Verlisify, Hoodlum, Duncan, and whoever else take these jokes and these arguments out of context and run with them into a point of ridiculosity. See, we as YouTubers, we as Poketubers, we as social celebrities, pseudo-celebrities, whatever you like to refer to us as, when we post things on Twitter, it might be a joke to us, but to some youthful kid, to some young inexperienced child who's just a real big fan of that individual, it could mean the world to them, and they would take up your cause. When it wasn't even a big deal to you. So that's all I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to raise this concern and question, and a lot of people have always asked me where I stand with this. Yes, I believe you should hack single-player games offline. I think if you can be banned on competitive games like Overwatch for hacking, like using aimbots in Halo or in anything else, then you should be banned for hacking in Pokemon. Now, the biggest counter-argument to that is that when you hack in Pokemon, you're not giving yourself an edge. So once again, you're running up against that line. Where does the line end? Is there a line that can be crossed? You obviously shouldn't be given an edge in combat, in battle, especially when you're battling in competitive gaming. But at the end of the day, some people see no problem with taking a shortcut versus putting all the work in. Where other people say, hey, that's not fair. You took a shortcut to get there instead of putting the work in. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's the anti-hacking community and the hacking community put together in a nutshell. If I missed anything, feel free to comment it down in the section below, but please try to stay civil to each other. We've already seen a lot of people attacking each other, and indeed, this title will probably get quite a lot of hate, and the video itself will probably get quite a few dislikes. I could really use your support on this video especially. So if you usually don't sign in, and usually don't like videos, and you just watch them and you leave, would you please consider taking the time to like this video and share it with people? Because I think a lot of people take what YouTubers, Poketubers, and big pseudo-social celebrities, what they say, to heart, and a lot of the time it's just one big joke. It's just one big game, just like Pokemon is. It's just a fun game. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I've been your host, Protomario, and I'm signing out. If you guys enjoyed that skit, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to do a few more. Other than that, I don't have much else to say. I'm recovering well from my poison ivy bout that I've had, and yeah, my tooth isn't hurting me anymore. So all in all, everything's going well for me, and I hope everything's going well for you. So I'll see you next week, ladies and gentlemen, and as always, good gaming. God bless, and thanks for watching.
I can't even. Oh my God.